Well, my name is Shana Schindley. I am originally from Bellevue. I live here in Norwalk now with my husband, and I work at Christian Roberts. Also work here at Maple City for Tim, teaching some classes, like HIIT, boot camp kind of classes. I've been interested in fitness my entire life. I have gone from running to powerlifting to CrossFit to HIIT style workouts. I love it all. I really don't hate any type of fitness. I'm married. My husband, Ben Schindley. We've been married for a little over 2 years now. Kids, we do not have any yet. Would love kids someday. Ben and I love to travel. We travel as much as we possibly can. We love hiking, camping, backpacking. I'm so adventurous. Ben, on the other hand, is not as adventurous as me, but he's working on that. I will say that I tend to make him get really uncomfortable with certain things, but being outside, being in nature, that is my absolute favorite thing. What I'm most passionate about? I am most passionate about fitness. I am most passionate about health. I work in the beauty industry, so just making people feel good about themselves. I feel like I'm a very compassionate person. I care about others. I care about what others are feeling. I would say I try really hard to make others happy, in a good way. I mean, I also worry about myself first and then put others after, only because I feel like as long as I'm taking care of myself, I can take care of others even better. So I struggled with eating disorders. It wasn't just one, it was about 3 different types of eating disorders. So it started my junior year of high school. I hurt myself in softball, actually my sophomore year. So it was the end of my sophomore year. I hurt myself playing softball. I was out the whole rest of that year, the whole summer, which caused I was set back. So because of that setback, I tried to find other things to help, fill that void. So I started running. I loved running. I still love running. I started running. I started out at 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. Once I started running, people noticed, me losing a little bit of weight. I never was heavy by any means. I was probably sitting at about 115, 120. But I think people noticing that weight loss of mine, to me was, wow, I'm skinny, I'm getting prettier. So for me, it was being the best, being pretty, being skinny. As a high school girl, that's what we care about at that time in life. So that happened, and then the beginning of my senior year was when I ran cross country. So I started running cross country, was doing pretty good, but once again, I was not eating. I was not fueling my body the way that I should. But like I said, people kept noticing that and calling me pretty and calling me skinny. So to reach that ultimate goal, I just kept going. I kept striving for image, self-image, what other people thought was beautiful, and that's what I thought was beautiful. So I would eat maybe 300 calories a day. I'd wake up, eat a little bit of breakfast, go out the whole day without eating, go to cross-country practice, not eat afterwards. So about anywhere from 5 to 10 miles a day I was running, and running on about 200 to 300 calories. In high school, I weighed about 90 to 95 pounds. For example, right now I'm sitting at about 120, so feeling much better. But going into my college years, then I found lifting, which I loved, gained a little bit of weight here and there, did a powerlifting competition, loved it, but I just wasn't feeling satisfied. So that's when I began using, I would use laxatives, I would use the laxatives, I would binge and purge, so I would throw everything up, everything possible just to get anything out of my body that I was putting into it. So That lasted about 2 to 2.5 years, ongoing, on and off. I then developed stress fractures all throughout my body. So I would get a stress fracture probably once a month and somewhere different in my body. I remember my first one like being in my ribs. I was bench pressing and I felt just something pop and I was like, oh my gosh, what was that, you know? So that's what that was. And then I got them in my ankles, around my knees, everywhere in my body there had been something going on. I developed a bunch of different digestive problems. I went to different doctors. They would try to figure out what was wrong. I would lie to them, say I was eating, I was doing this, I was doing that, when in my head I knew I was not doing any of those things. So that continued on for, altogether, these things continued on for a good 8 years. So after the whole binging and purging, then I was just binging. I tried to stop throwing up, but I would put so much food into my body at one time, probably close to 5,000 calories like every other night is what I was doing. And this was after all my normal meals throughout the day. So then I was gaining a little bit more weight. I still probably only got up to about 130, 135 at most. So for most people, that's nothing, literally nothing. And like I said, I was never fat, but in my eyes at that time, I was fat, I was ugly, I was gross. That's what I would tell myself every single day. Sorry, I'm getting emotional now. But yeah, I am so happy and so relieved from all of those things now. But honestly, what did it for me was my trust in Christ. So that ongoing 8 years, yes, I believed in him, but it wasn't like I put every ounce that I had into him. And it wasn't until I did that I truly saw success. I was getting better little by little. And it was not a fast process at all, but surrounding myself with other people, not really who had been through the same things as I have, but who have struggled with other addictions, no matter what that be. But their way of getting over it was what I wanted. I wanted to find that strength in Christ, in Jesus, knowing that putting everything I have into him and just surrounding myself with people who also did the same thing, it made a huge difference. So yeah, those 8 years were the hardest years of my entire life, but getting through it with others who've been through similar things is what helped me. Well, honestly, it sounds so cliche, but don't give up. Do not give up. There's days now that I still struggle so bad. And I want to give up. I want to quit. I don't want to come into the gym. I don't want to eat my meals that I have made for the day that I know I need to eat to get through that. But yeah, do not give up, and reach out to other people, because every single person is going through some sort of struggle, whether it's with an eating disorder, whether it's alcohol or drugs or pornography or anything that it may be. I've come to know that every single person is fighting a battle, and we all get through those struggles differently. So I've found so many different ways to cope with the disorder. I've found different people, like groups of people. So down at college, I met a certain group of people who just pushed me through they were a different type of people that I've never met before. And a lot of them didn't even know about my eating disorder. So they pushed me through not even knowing what they were doing. So same with that, just find a group of people that you know, that you love, that you trust, because they can help you whether you know it or not, because I still stay in contact with those people today. And I told my family. I haven't told all of my family, but once I put my struggles out there for other people to see, that has also helped, because people will encourage you. After they know what you struggle with, they will encourage you. They'll open up to you. You can help them, which essentially makes you feel better about yourself. So that's how that's my advice for people, is to stick with it, don't give up, and to get your word out there and just reach out to other people. That's a tough one, because today, we have social media, we have other girls at school who are just mean, flat out mean. And that is a big struggle, whether you're in high school, whether you're a teenager, whether you're, college or 27 like me. You have all different types of women out there who are very discouraging, when in reality, we all need to encourage each other. But for younger girls, like high school age, it's hard to say now that your image now does not define who you are. What defines you is the type of person that you are, the type of person that you are trying to become. So focus on that now, because if you're focused on that now, down the line, it'll be so much easier to help others and just, put yourself out there and be there for other women. I'm not saying my struggle, I'm happy that I went through my struggles. I'm happy that I had to deal with those things, because now I am able to help other women. So even if you are young and you're battling something now, just remember that you will be able to help someone later down the line. Whether you know it or not, you are going to be an inspiration to someone. You are going to be motivation for someone else. So don't give up on that. Just keep being who you are and love yourself as best as you possibly can. Be kind with your words. You may think it's silly, you may think it's stupid, or, all of these things. You may think it's easy to get over and just eat, why don't you just eat? Why don't you just do this? Why don't you do that? Like, you telling them that they aren't fat or that they aren't, skinny, you telling them that will not help the fact. Like I said, be kind with your words. Just be there for them. Ask if they need anything. You don't necessarily have to even bring up the actual eating disorder, but just by being kind and being there for them, supporting them every step of the way, honestly, is what's going to help them most. Just, I wouldn't say never let them be alone, but let them be alone with their thoughts, but make sure you're check in all the time, whether they're upset with you or not, because like I had told my parents, yes, I will get upset with you. And I tell Ben the same thing, my husband, every week. I might be upset with you when you ask me, but that is going to help me more than you know. I might get frustrated, I might yell at you, but that doesn't mean that I don't love you. That just means that I'm frustrated with myself. So definitely reach out and be kind with what you're saying. I would just want to say that if you are struggling with something, don't hold back. Don't keep your feelings tied to yourself or even just a small group of people. Yes, to start, get yourself out to a small group of people and expand from there, because I never would have thought I would be sharing my story with anybody, let alone, hundreds of different people. I've been to Bible studies, I've been to small groups, I've been to Celebrate Recovery, I've talked to just random people about this, and I get so emotional every single time. I'm always like, oh yeah, this time I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna do it. I have told so many people about this, and every single time I do, whether whether I feel so confident or not, I'm always sobbing about it, because this is such an amazing struggle that I've been through. I'm grateful that God has put me through this, because I am so much stronger. I am so much wiser. I feel like I have pretty decent advice, not that I always take it for myself, but I would just love to say to get yourself out there. Start with a small group and move yourself up. For me, I am a spiritual person. I put all my faith in God. That's also what has helped me through it. So if you are curious about that, or you're uncomfortable with that, just reach out to somebody who you may know has that faith and has, they've gone to church and, they feel like a pretty trustworthy person. Put your faith in them and just reach out. I've been through a lot, and like I said, I'm so happy that I've been through it because of the way I've been able to hopefully touch others. I love talking about this. I would love for you to reach out. I have a Facebook, Shana Schindley. Tim, he has all of my information. Get a hold of me that way. He has my phone number, my email, all of that. I am more than happy to talk about any of this with anyone. So if you ever have any questions, any concerns, anything, just let me know.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.